Hello, my friends. It is your local neighborhood weirdo. And I'm reading today from Pieces Every Step, which is Thich, Nhat, Hanh. This is chapter, I have no idea, page 45. It's called Breathing Room. I'm sharing this with you because it's something that I do with my kids, and it seems to have worked pretty well. And I thought that it might work for you too, if you check it out. So it is called Breathing Room. We have a room for everything, eating, sleeping, watching TV, but we have no room for mindfulness. I recommend that we set up a small room in our homes and call it a breathing room, where we can be alone and practice just breathing and smiling, at least in difficult moments. The little room should be regarded as an embassy of the kingdom of peace. It should be respected and not violated by anger, shouting, or things like that. When a kid is about to be shouted at, she can take refuge in that room. That means he or she can come into this room and feel peace and be safe there from being yelled at. Neither the father nor the mother can shout at her anymore. She is safe within the grounds of the embassy. Parents sometimes will need to take refuge in that room also, to sit down, breathe, smile, and restore themselves. Secretly, I practically live in this room. It's not actually a room, but I'll describe it in a second. It's how I calm down when it's 5 o'clock and I have had 5 kids around and they all have needs. It gives me anxiety just thinking about it. Okay. Therefore, that room is for the benefit of the whole family. I suggest that the breathing room be decorated very simply and not be too bright. You may want to have a small bell, one with a beautiful sound, a few cushions or chairs, and perhaps a vase of flowers to remind us of our true nature. You or your children can arrange the flowers in mindfulness, smiling. Every time you feel a little upset, you know that the best thing to do is to go to that little room, open the door slowly, sit down, invite the bell to sound. In my country, we don't say strike or hit a bell. We say to invite it to sound and then begin to breathe. So this is one of our mindfulness sounds. I'll bring it up here so you can see it. And we also have a gong that we hit sometimes. So nerdy. Okay, the bell will not only help the person in the breathing room, but the others in the house as well. Suppose your husband is irritated. I don't have a husband. Since he has learned the practice of breathing, he knows that the best thing to do is to go into that room, sit down, and practice. You may not realize where he has gone. You were busy cutting carrots in the kitchen. But you suffer also because you and he just had some big altercation, or me and a child. You are cutting the carrots a bit strongly because the energy of anger is translated into the movement. Suddenly you hear the bell and you know what to do. You stop cutting and you breathe in and out. Remember I taught you this? Breathe in. Breathe out. Or hold. Breathe out. You stop cutting and you breathe in and out. You feel better and you may smile thinking about your husband who knows what to do when he gets angry. He is now sitting in the breathing room, breathing and smiling. That's wonderful. Not many people do that. Suddenly a feeling of tenderness arises and you feel much better. After 3 breaths, you begin to cut the carrots again, but this time quite differently. Your child, who was witnessing the scene, knew that a kind of tempest was going to break. I'm sorry, I'm dying today. I don't know why. She withdrew to her room, closed the door, and silently waited. But instead of a storm, she heard the bell, and she understood what was going on. She feels so relieved, and she wants to show her appreciation to her father. She goes slowly into the breathing room, opens the door, and quietly enters and sits down beside him to show her support. That helps him very much. He already felt ready to go out. He is able to smile now, but since the daughter is sitting there, he wants to sound the bell again for his daughter to breathe. Bring tea in here? Yes, a second. Okay. In the kitchen, you hear the second bell, and you know that cutting carrots may not be the best thing to do now. So you put down your knife, and you go into the breathing room. Your husband is aware that the door is opening and you're coming in. So although he is now all right, since you're coming, he stays on for some time longer and sounds the bell for you to breathe. This is a beautiful scene. If you are very wealthy, you can buy a precious painting by Van Gogh and hang it in your living room. but it will be less beautiful than the scene in the breathing room. Isn't that sweet? A beautiful painting is less sweet than the scene in the breathing room. The practice of peace and reconciliation is one of the most vital and artistic of human actions. I know of families where children go into a breathing room after breakfast, sit down, and breathe in, one, out, 1, in, out, 2, in, out, 3, and so on up to 10, and then they go to school. If your child doesn't wish to breathe 10 times, perhaps 3 times is enough. Beginning the day this way is very beautiful and very helpful to the whole family. If you are mindful in the morning and try to nourish mindfulness throughout the day, you may be able to come home at the end of the day with a smile, which proves that mindfulness is still there. I believe that every home should have one room for breathing. Simple practices like conscious breathing and smiling are very important. They can change our civilization. So this is our breathing room, and we basically have followed that exact plan for how to create it. And we have just a couple of pillows that we sit on, and we have this thing has like candles and incense and stuff. And then we have a Buddha head for them to focus on, and it's just colors that I happen to like and prints that I happen to like, and it makes me feel calm and peaceful. So I come in here sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, and it's just a corner of my room, and the kids have access to it. And we start out with in the morning. I ring the bell, and they come in here, and we talk about our intentions for the day, or you can pray together, or whatever you do to ground your family before you leave. It takes about 30 seconds, and we do 3 mindful breaths, and then they go to school. And that's how we start our day almost every day. And of course, a lot of times there's the ringing of the bell, and me hitting it like a bunch of more times to make sure that they actually come, because they're children, and we're working on it, and we're a work in progress. So this has helped me. It might be fun for your own family. Think about what each kid might want to put in there so that they have ownership for the room, and that they know where to sit, and they know that they can also touch your body when they're here. I'm not real touchy, so I make sure that when we're sitting down here, I'm on the floor at their level, and they touch me or climb on me or have some sort of contact. So that's how we do the breathing room. If you want to try it, take a picture and send it to me. I'm dying to see what you guys come up with and if it works for you. It can be somewhere simple, like under the kitchen table. We've done that in the past too, which is weird. But anyway, have a great day. Hope everything is going well with you, and thanks. Bye.